As a way of introduction, as you would know, IMESA stands for Municipal Engineering. Now, we have this slide here that we present to just about everyone. We present government, our fellow VAs, so that the definition of a municipal engineering cannot lose its importance. Here we say municipal engineering is concerned with municipal infrastructure. This involves specifying, designing, constructing, and maintaining street sideways, water supply networks, sewers, street lighting, municipal solid waste management and disposal, public parks and cycling infrastructure. And also in underground utility networks, it is also included as a local distribution network of electrical and telecommunication services. It can also include the optimizing of garbage collection and bus service networks. Some of these disciplines overlap with the other civil engineering specialties. However, municipal engineering focuses on the coordination of these infrastructure networks and services, as they are often built simultaneously and managed by the same municipal authority. Now, briefly, the IMESA, what is the vision of IMESA? Who is IMESA? We define ourselves with a vision that says we stand to promote excellence in engineering profession for the benefit of municipalities and their communities. Now, I'll list two of these four key objectives. The first two, one is to promote knowledge, art, science, and practice of infrastructure engineering in all its aspects. And second to that, it's similar, says to promote and support the interests of infrastructure engineering professionals and the engineering fraternity involved. Now, IMESA is present countrywide and in various parts of Southern Africa. This is just a map of that highlights our presence, our footprint across all provinces in South Africa. Now, you ask me, what are the challenges of municipalities now that we are in that space? We have summarized it, and I'm happy that it looks like this is actually agreed upon across the sector, engineering sector that is. And that is the main challenge in municipal space is service delivery. And that equates to infrastructure. Aging infrastructure, deteriorating infrastructure, vandalized infrastructure, the lack of maintenance of that infrastructure, all of that talks to poor service or no service delivery at all. We have few bullets that we have highlighted that talks to this. One is the lack of technical capacity at smaller municipalities. And I must agree by Mr. Kaplan's presentation. We work as a hand in a glove with Dr. Alison Lawless in mapping up the skills levels within these municipalities. So we are in one agreement here that lack of technical capacity is a major challenge within these municipalities. The focus on capital cost should be on life cycle cost. You can't just bring a capital project without having the presence of the mind that this project that you're bringing or this infrastructure that you're introducing must live throughout its intended life cycle. And that is what is lacking in our principles at municipal level. Budget not aligned to provision of routine maintenance, that is a big problem. The other one is the 15% of grant maintenance is not being allocated, and that is bringing it back to O&M. More reactive maintenance than proactive maintenance due to lack of funding. Many municipal practitioners will agree with me on that one. Consultants are forced to focus on lowest price, not given enough time on engineering, design, planning, and quality control. Second last, the procurement processes are causing delays, just like Mr. Kaplan has highlighted the supply chain issues. And the last one, record keeping, e.g., as-built plans, essential for long-term infrastructure maintenance. And this is sad. You knock, especially in lower and smaller municipalities, they don't have records of the as-built plans of the infrastructure that they have in their own municipalities. And this is very sad. Now that we are in Joburg, I want us to just zoom in at the municipality or the metro that is hosting you as a Joburg branch of SAICE. As an example, the city of Joburg on water and sewer backlogs alone, it has a whopping 1.4 billion worth of backlogs on water main replacements and 3.4 billion on sewer replacements. These are backlogs, not the infrastructure that must be maintained. It's a backlog. And it has what, 12.6, a whopping 12.6 billion on water and sewer capacity upgrading backlogs. So there's no upgrading happening
during my presidential visits
at the city of Joburg as we speak. And of course on wastewater treatment works, and this one will bring your attention, I know, with the cholera that has broken out in Tshwane. City of Joburg also has a backlog of 2.5 billion on all wastewater treatment work plants. This totals to just over 20 billion rand worth of backlog in the city of Joburg alone. And here we had this pie chart that we have drawn here, just to give you a brief of what is the status of infrastructure within the city of Joburg. The biggest chunk here, yellow, is a fair infrastructure. And the second biggest, which is 30, the fair infrastructure is only 36%. And 30% is in blue. Maybe let me use this. Yeah, this is the yellow, which is the fair infrastructure. And the blue here is only 30% of the entire infrastructure in Joburg, which is good. And this orange here, it's the very poor infrastructure. And poor infrastructure is 11%. And only 11% we can say is very good. So of all the infrastructure, we have only 11% in the city, the entire city of Joburg, that has a very good infrastructure. So here I'm highlighting the critical assets that require replacement or renewal is standing at 20.4 billion over the next 10-year period based on a renewable useful life. This equates to an equivalent of 2 billion per annum over the next 10 years for the capital replacement renewal, which is currently a barrier due to funding allocations. And I'm happy that we are talking the same language with Mr. Kaplan here as well. Now, if you look at the infrastructure backlog in these charts here, I would say on the table here below, it explains what you see on the graph there. It says water supply networks between 0 and 5 year remaining useful life cycle. You're talking at a total of 7.7 billion. And the wastewater network, we're sitting at 6.5 billion, and wastewater treatment works, we're sitting at 1.2, and overall buildings, we're sitting at 205 million. And these are just the percentages that will explain to you the remaining useful life of 0 to 5 years, which means within the next 5 years, these sets of infrastructure is due to be replaced, and we're sitting at 11% thereof. And the detail there is also telling you that the biggest infrastructure that we can say it's good, which has a more than 20% of useful life, on water supply network is 20.5 billion, and wastewater network, for the sake of time, this is another detail that will seek to explain to the delegates here that Joburg Water has a total infrastructure asset with a current replacement value of 88.3 billion rand. And IMESA, what is IMESA has to offer? IMESA stands to provide data collection surveys on technical capacity and skills requirements. 2, IMESA stands to develop technical manuals and best practice guidelines, e.g. small coastal stormwater outlets, capacity building in urban and regional planning, water reclamation and reuse, design, flood estimation, and these I must add, we work hand in glove with Water Research Commission on this. Of course, training interventions, and we have recently partnered with SAICE in rolling out some of these training
during
offerings.
my presidential visits,
Branch level development activities, bursaries, student support, conference networking and knowledge sharing. Some of you know our flagship conference every year. Last year was here in Beachwood. This coming year is going to be in Gqeberha, Port Elizabeth. Now, you've asked me a way forward. This is my last slide, Program Director. The way forward is that we need correct technical staff that should be employed by each municipality. Number 2, we need continuous training as a critical factor for all officials, not only for CBD points, but to keep abreast of most recent technologies. Sufficient budget needs to be allocated for maintenance so that municipalities can focus on proactive maintenance. Proactive maintenance is more cost-effective solution. Clear guidelines for municipalities is required to implement asset management roadmap. IMESA can assist in rolling out these trainings. It's critical that we train municipal officials, and this we'll do by working in unison with our SAICE colleagues and all other VAs. So that is my story, and that is who I am. Thank you.